All right. Hello and welcome to today's episode. Today's a little bit of a special episode where I'm going to talk about learning how to shift from running your business from a place of fear to a place of trust. And so I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and that really notice that fear is integrated into their life, and really learning how to shift out of fear and really living from a place of trust. And I want to talk specifically about how that impacts one's business, if that's something that you run, but really you can apply this to any of the work that you do. So before we dive in, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be part of a panel of presenters at an upcoming event online. So it's all going to be about really learning energy and bringing it into your business. It's called Soul Driven Scale. I have the link down in the note where you can enroll. And again, so it's going to be an exciting summit, I believe. There's going to be all sorts of speakers with various topics. I'm going to be presenting as well, so you would get access to that. And then we have several bonuses for the people that will be attending the events. So check out the link in the notes, and then let's dive into today. So when we're talking about running a business, one of the very first things that we have to be able to assess is what's the state of consciousness that we're in, that we're bringing into the business. And you can really do this with any aspect of your life, but what state am I bringing in? And a lot of times we're in a state of fear and we're unaware of it. And so what I want to first talk about is what it looks like bodily when it comes to, well, let's go ahead and talk about various ways when you're operating from fear, kind of what that looks like, and then what it looks like to operate from trust. So when you're operating from fear, generally speaking, your body's going to feel contracted and tense. You might have neck pain, back pain. You're going to feel uneasy in your body, right? Whereas when you're living from trust and operating from trust, you're going to feel loose, relaxed. You're going to feel calm. You're not going to feel this sense of tension and tightness in the body. So just even listening to how your body feels will give you an idea of a generic idea of where you are energetically or emotionally in your body in a dominant way. Next way is that you are going to project your fear into the future, right? So fear has this way of kind of gearing you towards the past or the future, often to the future. And what happens with fear is that when we're in fear, the future looks scary to us because there's always this idea of this unknown looming danger. And it's not that there's actually this unknown looming danger necessarily. It's just that your fear is wanting to convince you that there is to justify the presence of its existence. So we project the fear into the future, and then we try to solve these futuristic ideas. Oh my gosh, like what's going to happen next week with our sales or this or that? And we're always focused on the future. When you're living from a place of trust, you feel safe. And so you feel safe just being in the moment, doing what you're doing in this moment. So whatever needs to happen, this meeting, that email, this client, whatever it is you're able to give your energy to the present, and you're not focused and you're not projecting onto this looming danger that's potentially coming your way in the future. Another way that fear shows up is you constantly are living from a reactive place, right? So everything feels reactive to you. It's always like this disaster, and I need to handle this fire and that fire and this fire and that fire, and you're just working on reacting to everything in your environment. So you really feel like a slave to your business. You feel like your whole life is out of control because you're constantly reacting to everything, as opposed to when you're in a state of trust. What you're really doing is taking more proactive stances on things, proactive action, right? You're able to calmly look at things and take steps to, again, work towards futuristic outcomes, but in a calm and peaceful way. And then finally, the difference of living from fear to trust is in fear, you live from a state of scarcity. So you live from this place of money's scarce, clients are scarce, resources are scarce, our competitors this. You see things from this plane of competition and scarcity and how you need to get in order to resolve that scarcity and that fear. Where when you live from a place of trust and you operate your business from a place of trust, you see everything is abundant. I mean, there's enough clients to go around, the entire world, right? In fact, I'm only really trying to attract the clients that are really good fits for me. You see money as abundant. You see time as abundant. You see, resources as abundant. So if one of your team members decides, hey, I want to expand my career and go on and move on to something else, you don't see you don't see a scarcity of team members. You see, oh, that's great. That person's moving on to something that is more in alignment with what they want to do, and you trust that you'll be able to find someone to replace that role. You trust that money will flow to you when you need it. You trust that clients will attract to you, because of just what you're putting out there. You don't live from this controlling, you live from a trusting stance. And then also we can talk about just, the various ways this impacts, whether it's culture, workplace environment, toxic environments, right? All this stuff. And the real key thing that I want to stress here is that when you're living from a place of fear, you can start to see the signs everywhere. And instead of seeing what you see in your projection, whether it's your body or things going on in the workplace, or just the way you feel about money, the way you feel about your clients, all this stuff, start to see that that's the state you're in, that you're bringing into that, as opposed to thinking that what's going on externally is causing the state. And that's the illusion that people get caught in, because then they try to work at the business itself to try to change that to make themselves feel better, as opposed to learning to actually shift their entire state, which often means, again, learning to release emotion, learning to change beliefs, learning to change identities, that then you bring into the business. And by changing your state, it causes you to see everything differently. So it's much like wearing a pair of sunglasses. Is sometimes if you're wearing sunglasses, you don't even necessarily know you're wearing them. It can get to the point where you're like unconscious that you're even wearing them. So what you see through the sunglasses, you just think is how things are. But a lot of times, once you take them off and put new ones on, you start to see how different things really do appear. And that really is what we're talking about when we're talking about shifting from a place of fear, to a place of trust. It's actually understanding that it's not really about changing a lot of stuff in your business. It's really more about changing yourself and what you're bringing into your business. And I've seen that produce such radical results for people, not only myself, but in many of the clients that I've worked with, especially ones that are business owners, because you start working at things from places you've never worked at them from. And that allows you to achieve results that you've never been able to achieve. Because if you're constantly working from the place of fear, you're going to cap your perspective, your state, your perception within that field of emotion. So you really can't even see what it looks like to live from trust unless you're actually in that state. So, again, I'm going to talk more about this on my presentation in the summit coming up. So if you want to dive in more to that, definitely click the link in the notes, as you'll be able to get access. Again, it's super affordable. I'm excited to be a part of it, because we also have some amazing other panelists that are going to be talking. You can learn more about that, on the page. And if you found this beneficial, you can also connect with me directly over at restoredminds.com. With that, I wish you all a great day and a great week, and hope to see you on the event on February 15th. Hey there, thanks so much for watching that episode. If you found it helpful, we have some links to some other episodes that we think you might like as well. And if you're looking for help on your journey to recovery from fear, stress, and anxiety, either check out the links in the notes or head over to restoredminds.com. Thank you, and talk to you soon.